All right, guys, are you serious? Are you serious? Wow. Good to talk to everybody. It is Thursday. It is March the 31st and 2022. I'm Pastor Paul Begley, and this is a YouTube version of the coming apocalypse. And I'm coming to you live from where are we? Little Rock, Arkansas. Live from Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm going to be on television tomorrow, actually doing a television show with Pastor Happy Caldwell at Victory Television Network. We're working with him and John Hagee on raising money to help evacuate Jewish people out of the war zone in Ukraine. And so we'll be doing that tomorrow. All right. But today I'm going to be with you guys here, including tonight with Mike from around the world, all of it right here from Little Rock. So let me put a shout out right now, if I could. I forgot what I was putting a shout out for. Wow. I'm a little tired. Our planes were delayed, and we didn't get in till 3 a.m. this morning. So if I'm a little slow for a moment, I've had 3 cups of coffee, but I may need a fourth and even a fifth, okay, to get through this. All right. But anyway, let me put a shout out right now for www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. Guys, you know, the keto diet has been so successful. It's really incredible. The people that have used it, I know my daughter-in-law is real big on that out there in Japan. But anyway, check this out. Many people today struggle to manage their weight, but this is more true than ever after the age of 20. This is because after the age 20, our body's metabolism slows down by as much as 4% every decade. This is why I highly recommend ketowithpaul.com. This unbelievable, taking all the good ingredients from the keto diet and making a powder that you can put a scoop in the soup. It will help you lose weight easier than anything else that most people have ever tried. It works by increasing the ketone levels inside your body, which in turn support a boosted metabolism. With just a single scoop in the soup, you can see some big improvements. So here's what I say do. Go to www.ketowithpaul.com. That's www.ketowithpaul.com. All right. You'll be glad you done that one. No doubt about it. Anyway, it's good to see Robo Mom this morning early out there in California. It looks like a beautiful story as well. And everybody else that's joining in. Looks like Randy Newman is wanting to eat a lot of hamburgers. What? Okay. I guess he doesn't want to be on the keto diet. Oh, bless you, brother. All right. So anyway, let's talk about what's going on here. Here's what's happening. We've got tornadoes tearing up Arkansas and several southern states. And we've had wildfires burning like crazy near Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So there's a couple apocalyptic things taking place right as we speak. Let's talk first about the tornadoes. All right. Last night at about 9 p.m. Eastern, more than 44,000 homes and businesses were without power in Mississippi, according to a power outage. Most are in the western part of the state, where damage was reported in several areas. About 30,000 power outages were reported in Alabama and 24,000 in Tennessee. Also, there's outages in Louisiana, and those were up to 61,000 from the day before, but they're now down to 25,000. There's another 10,000 people without power in Kentucky. This is due to the storms. Now, while that was going on at about 10 minutes after 9 Eastern, a report was this fast-moving wildfire continued to grow in size near Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. That fire has scorched, at that time, 1.5 square miles. Several structures have been burned to the ground. At least one person was injured. And evacuation orders were first being issued in the morning and have been extended throughout the day. At about 10 o'clock last night, we have weather wild breakout. A line of storms then continued to sweep through parts of Tennessee and Mississippi into Alabama and western Georgia. through early Thursday morning. So now we have these storms and fires going on simultaneously. People's homes ripped, the roofs ripped off their homes. There was damage. At about 11:30 last night Eastern, there was video that was shared on social media, shows a heavily damaged homes in Macon, Mississippi, where the home was ripped from its foundation with 2 people inside, and they have been rescued in the debris by family members, and they were still alive, a miracle. Also, Katie Stewart was sitting down for breakfast at her home there in Louisiana this earlier, and as her great granddaughter slept in her bedroom, brought down by heavy winds, a large tree crashed through the roof, destroying the room. And when I went and opened the door to my bedroom, the tree had fallen all the way onto the bed and it was split in half. My grandbaby was sitting up in the bed smiling at me between the trees. You don't think there's a God? You don't think there's angels from heaven? A baby is sleeping on a bed, Heidi. A tree comes crashing in on top of the bedroom, on top of the bed, splitting the bed in half, and the kid is sitting between the tree, smiling on the bed. Smiling? Smiling? Did somebody say smiling? What? Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, by the way, that will never get reported on any of your mainstream media. So you've got all of these, more than close to 30. I think they're saying about 30 people, 30 tornadoes. There was tornadoes also in the Panhandle of Florida, Heidi, where at least 2 people are dead, and there's injuries, and we don't really know the extent of loss of life from all of these 30 tornadoes that have tore up Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Florida, and of course the wildfires burning in Tennessee. So there's a lot going on, but thank God for that miracle right there. Now, speaking of wildfires, let's go and talk about this, because this destructive Tennessee wildfires have burnt down more than 100 structures and has now tripled in size near Gatlinburg, Tennessee. According to reports, more than 100 structures were burned by fire last night, and the acreage has grown to 3,700 acres. 3 people, including 2 firefighters, have been injured by the flames. There was a brief rain that arrived in the area early Thursday morning, which helped the firefighting efforts, but it did not put out the blaze. There's been 11,000 homes that are being affected by evacuations as we speak. And as these evacuations for thousands of homes remain in place for Gatlinburg, Tennessee, firefighters are battling this very destructive fire that has tripled in size as high winds blew overnight. And those winds are coming from the storm that was coming, all those tornadoes that were coming this way. They were fanning the flames in Tennessee. The so-called Hatcher Mountain fire burned some 3,700 acres of Sevier County, including more than 100 structures, and 5 firefighting vehicles have burned up. Sevier County Mayor Larry Waters said in a morning press conference, he said it was unclear how many of those structures were actually homes. One construction worker on a bulldozer was injured in the fire when it overran his vehicle. He was flown to the University of Tennessee, but there are no reports yet on his condition. Also, firefighters were also injured and suffered minor injuries, have been treated on the scenes as they continue to battle the blaze. There has been no deaths reported or nobody missing yet, but these evacuations would remain in place until firefighters get to the upper hand of this blaze. This is a very dangerous situation, and it is threatening Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and Sevierville, all that right there in that beautiful area in the Smoky Mountains where those beautiful cabins are, and folks love to go and spend time and kind of get away. So we're praying for everybody up in those areas, praying that everything will work out and they can get this fire under control. We're also praying for everyone that was affected by the tornadoes last night as those tore through the country as well. So these are some of the apocalyptic events taking place as we speak right here in America. Is this part of the effects of Planet X? You have to ask that question. And my answer would be, yeah, it's what Mike around the world said was going to be happening. More explosive weather, extreme weather conditions, creating all kinds of apocalyptic scenarios and situations. And we had a 6.9 earthquake. I think it was a 7.0. I think they finally decided to settle on 6.9 at the U.S. Geological Survey in New Caledonia, which that is an island of about 275,000 people. And it was a very shallow quake, and it was a very powerful quake. Now that happened, and then later,
And this morning there has been a
there's been a 7.0 this morning. Thank you, Heidi. You're right.
What's 168? Oh, that's 168 miles.
What's 168 miles mean?
It's 168 miles from New Caledonia.
Okay. Was there any tsunami effect there?
I'm not sure.
Okay, we need to, yeah, Heidi's going to look and see if there's any tsunami warnings. So, New Caledonia hit with a 6.9 earthquake yesterday, and now hit with a 7.0 earthquake today. So, with a lot of aftershocks. Looks like the aftershocks 5.9, 5.4, 5.7, 4.7, 4.9, 5.1, 4.7. That's the aftershocks, all from that quake. Looks like Loyalty Islands too is right there close, and it's had a
Triggered the tsunami, but let's see if it says it.
it has triggered a tsunami, but hopefully not very big.
Well, it triggers the tsunami warning, but then it actually says 7.2.
I was saying the quake was a 7.2.
And 7 is actually the after effect.
Well, I'm showing the U.S. Geological Survey says it was a 7.0.
I'm looking at USGS. It was a 7.2, and the 7.0 is an after effect.
Well, where's the 7.2 at?
On over here on the tsunami one.
Oh, so it's saying it was a 7.2 with an aftershock of 7.0?
On the tsunami one, it's saying that.
That's what it's saying on the tsunami one. On the regular earthquake one, it's saying just 7.0 with a bunch of aftershocks that were in the fives. And if it triggered a tsunami watch, so
This is no tsunami watch.
no tsunami watch, it's going to be okay. And that's good news.
Okay, so it's saying, maybe that means it was downsized.
Yeah.
Because it's all at the same time.
Yeah.
544.01.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it must have been down.
So they first said it was a 7.2, and then they downsized it to 7.0. But it's 2 days in a row now that you have a 7.0 earthquake hitting in New Caledonia area. Those are two significant quakes, plus a lot of aftershocks right now. So you think about those CMEs, they were due to hit today. This is March 31st. Those flares, Heidi, from those.
Now here it says
a powerful
Fiji, New Caledonia, and Vanuatu tsunami waves are forecast to be less than 0.3 meters above the tide levels.
That's 9 feet. That's 10 feet.
Less than 0.3. That's
Oh.
1 foot.
1 foot. Okay, so 1 foot. That's not, that's just a wave. Very blessed that we don't have a major tsunami from a 7.0 and all these aftershocks. But there's going to be some waves. There's probably going to be some rogue waves out there, no doubt.
The tsunami message number 2.
So,
warning center in Honolulu. That's that one.
Okay. So Mike from around the world will be on tonight with us. We will go live at around 9:30 tonight. I might go live a half hour early. Be ready. Maybe 9 o'clock. I'll try to get everything up to speed. I'm here in Little Rock, Arkansas, and yes, there's a lot going on. Okay, so the sun's been extremely violent. And that's because I believe, I mean, look, did you guys go to Patreon and see the pictures, these new images that Marshall Masters has sent to us, released to us to put on Patreon?
So then they put out a tsunami warning number 3.
Another tsunami warning number 3.
That there's no longer a threat now.
Okay.
The tsunami threat from this earthquake has now passed.
Okay, so there won't be a tsunami from that earthquake. Praise God for that. Amen.
Well, it passed. It's over.
Yes.
So there's no longer a tsunami threat.
Right. There will not be one.
But
yeah.
It's over.
It's over. Now, go to Patreon. If you go to Patreon, for those of you who haven't seen these incredible photos that Marshall Masters sent to us, gave us permission to put it on our Patreon channel. Many of you are already members of our Patreon channel, and we thank you for being a supporter of the ministry and helping us spread the gospel of Jesus Christ to the world. And if you haven't signed up, you can do it real easy. They're putting the link on there right now in the chat room. Click on it, go over there. You'll simply just make a pledge, you make a donation for whatever you want. Okay, most people $5 is what the average people do. Some give more, some give less, but you do what you want, and then you have access to all of this very powerful information that we have on there for you. Interviews I have done with Agent X, not Planet X, but Agent X. Also interviews with Mike around the world. Also Heidi's great research she did on those. What's hidden in Ukraine. It'd be so cool if I could interview somebody on Planet X. But I tell you what, the next best thing is I can show you it. If you go there, you will see there was a massive solar flare, which we know we've been having. And when this thing exploded, this solar flare, it was so bright, be right back behind it, you see Planet X. Looks like the reflection of the flare lights up the planet, according to Marshall Masters. So you can go over there and watch it. It's on my Patreon channel right now. Okay. And I can't interview anybody on Planet X yet. Maybe that's where Agent X came from, Planet X. Who knows? Anyway. But it is crazy what's going on here, guys. A lot of stuff happening. And Heidi's over there laughing at me, which I don't blame her. And having said that, sweetheart, I think I need to play a Planet X song. What do you think? Yeah. I mean, why not, right? Yeah. And the best one to play when you're talking about Planet X is Shelter Me, Lord. And we recorded that one. So why not play it? Oops. And we'll be right back to talk to you some more about what's going on in the weather and everything else in just a moment.
The earth can shake, the sky come down, the mountains all fall to the ground, but I will fear none of those things. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Dark waters rise, the thunder pounds, the wheels of war are going round, and all the walls are crumbling. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your wings. Hide me underneath your wings. Hide me deep inside your heart. In your refuge, cover me. The world can shake, but Lord, I'm making you my hiding place. The wind will blow, the rain can pour, the deluge break, the tempest roars. But in that storm, my spirit sings. Shelter me, Lord, underneath your
Sergio.
Hide me deep inside your heart. In your refuge, cover me. The world can shake, but Lord, I'm making you my hiding place. Now on that day, you call for me. Someday when time no more shall be, and I say death,
Nathan Brown, thank
where
you.
is your sting? Shout to me, Lord, underneath your wings. Shout to me, Lord, underneath your wings.
Are you serious? We're going to need shelter. Tornadoes, wildfires. Jose Crispo, thank you. These are folks joining up with Patreon right now. Michelle Stevens says, I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. The fire is only 5% contained. As of now, firefighters are hurt. 5 fire trucks have burned down. That's all true. Well, this thing is not over. By no means.
You call for me.
So, Global Mom says, I'm getting new neighbors next door.
What? Well, I say death.
Hopefully that works out. Yeah, this is why we have our faith in the Lord. There was a fireball seen in Bloomington, Indiana yesterday. Yeah, and it was felt and heard. It was a boom. That's something in Indiana. We're going to talk about that later today. Thank you for the update. Yes, that fireball you're talking about in southern Indiana, that over Bloomington, Indiana, and that thing exploded. It shook the earth, and it was loud. And yeah, we've heard reports about that, and I'll talk more about that in the next video I have or later today. So a lot going on, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now, pray for everybody in Tennessee because the wildfires are burning and they are being fanned by the flames. The flames are being fanned by the tornadic weather, extreme weather conditions that Mike around the world said was going to come upon the earth. And of course, there was 30 tornadoes yesterday. We know at least 2 people were killed in Florida, and it went across about 5 or 6 states. And it's fanning the flames of the wildfires in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Plus, we know there was another 7.0 earthquake. It was 7.2. They downsized it 7.0. Where again? In New Caledonia. That's 2 days in a row. And today is the day that those real strong CMEs are going to hit the earth. And that might have been, they may have just hit Heidi and caused that earthquake again in New Caledonia. Today's the 31st, and we were supposed to get hit with some 2.
Oh, I see.
And that might have caused, because anytime there's a weak spot in the earth, when that kind of pressure hits, it could cause an earthquake. Well, they had one yesterday. It's still shaking. It's still weak. And, it's crazy. So it's getting really crazy. By the way, the effects, is the effects of Planet X, DVDs are in, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you want to get your DVD of the effects of Planet X, they are in. We're shipping them right now as we speak. You can go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com and place your order for it right now. Also, Armies of the Antichrist are in. And man, that is awesome. You can get those now. Just go to the website. They are here. They are shipping. They are on the way out the door. You need to get go and get your order in right now. And I'll make a quick announcement for you. Our next webinar, which is titled Overcoming Evil. Overcoming Evil. This is probably going to be the most intense webinar ever. What a great group of speakers we have. Tom Dunn, he's Russ Disdar's right-hand man for 20 years, going on crime scenes and involved in deliverance sessions and exorcisms. He's going to be one of our speakers. Doug Hagman may have the greatest presentation ever assembled. Doug has been investigating crime scenes with the FBI. He's a private eye himself, and has went on a lot of these scenes with Russ Disdar, and he has evidence. He has pictures of stuff recovered from these scenes, and I've seen 5 of the pictures. He showed them to me, and if that was all he had, it's worth the entire webinar to see what he found, what they have. But he's got more. Okay, it's incredible occult things that have been located in some of these occult practices and scenes and things. You're not going to believe it, so you have to watch this. Also, Lester Summerall, the grandson of Dr. Lester Summerall, is going to be joining us in this one. That's going to be great. Heidi, I'm forgetting people. Mike Around the World is going to be with us. That's amazing. You know that. He can't wait to tell you what he knows from an intelligence standpoint. And then there's the Archbishop Athanasius Snyder, the Archbishop of Kazakhstan, or Kazakhstan. I said it right that time. Kazakhstan. There is no yak. It's Kazakhstan. No Yakistan. There's Kazakhstan. Okay, I got it. Yakistan is where Borat's or whatever that guy's name. This is Kazakhstan. Anyway, he's also an exorcist and work close with Malachi Martin. And so he'll be sharing some information with us. And then Steve Quayle, I've just got to get a confirmation on him, but I'm sure he's going to say yes. And am I forgetting anybody else out there? Bart Begley's going to do a film on overcoming evil. This will be his best film. He's already working on it. I'm going to also be speaking besides interviewing everybody. This is a tremendous, I think there's somebody else even in this. I can't remember. So this is going to be forget about it. Go get your ticket now. Go get your ticket right now. Can they get it at my website yet, Heidi? Or is it? Not yet.
But I just put the Eventbrite link up there.
Okay. Heidi just put the Eventbrite link up there for you. So you can go there, click there, and get your ticket right now and be ready for that. That's going to be May 20th and 21st. May 20th and 21st, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on that Friday night, May 20th. That's going to be what a great webinar that's going to be. All right. No, there'll be no Linda Moulton Howe. She's not going to be in this one. But there is going to be a lot of good people. I'll tell you that. It's going to shock you. Overcoming evil, how to deal with the dark side, and how to overcome it with a lot of great information. I'll be back, guys, with more in just a few minutes right here on the Coming Apocalypse. God bless all of you. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're running out of time.